Stop. If you leave now, you will miss a moment that will not come back. What you are hearing right now was not released at random, and you did not arrive here by chance. This message has surfaced for one reason only, and it is directly tied to the person who lives deepest in your heart. Do not scroll. Do not delay. Pause where you are and listen carefully, because walking away from this moment could become something you regret far longer than you expect. Something has shifted. Just moments ago, a change rippled through the highest realms, and within that movement, your name was spoken aloud. Not casually, not symbolically. It was spoken with precision and weight as part of a decision that had been waiting for the right second to unfold. What has been hidden for years is beginning to open, and once you sense it, you will understand why the confusion, the silence, and the unanswered questions had to last this long. This revelation centers on the one your soul already knows, the person you recognize without explanation, the one who appears in your dreams when time and distance say they should not, the one whose presence you can still feel pressing against your chest, even when they are nowhere near you. This is not coincidence. It has never been coincidence. The timing matters. Heaven has chosen now, not later, and not again. If this moment passes unanswered, the space between you may close once more, and what you have been waiting to understand could slip back into silence. This message was never meant for everyone. And there is a reason. One crucial part of this has not been revealed yet, because only those who stay will see what is about to be set in motion. This is not a signal released to the crowd. It is a sealed transmission, personal and sacred, carried only to those marked with a particular resonance of divine connection. That is why you were drawn here at this exact moment. Nothing misfires in the unseen. No step is misplaced in the spirit realm. What found you now was sent with intention, and your presence here confirms that you are aligned to receive it. If these words have risen before your eyes, they are not random. They are the answer your spirit has been listening for beneath the noise of ordinary days. You are being summoned. Before this truth unfolds any further, recognize what is happening. Moments like this do not linger. If this message slips away, swallowed by routine and distraction, the heart may keep searching, wandering, as Israel did in the wilderness, even while the promise stands within reach. Now is the time of God's favor. Now is the day of salvation. What waits here is clarity, poised and ready, but only for those who understand that being chosen also means choosing to stay. You are here for more than information. You are standing inside a moment of unfolding, where heaven is pressing close to your life right now. By staying, you are opening yourself to hear what has been held back for too long. I need to speak this without delay. A quiet movement has passed through the unseen places. The atmosphere shifted. Even the rhythm of heaven paused, as if making room for something weighty to be spoken. In that stillness, your name was spoken alongside the name of your soulmate, not in sorrow, not in accusation. It was spoken in alignment, as though two paths long separated were finally being seen together again. What they have been carrying within their chest, what has remained unspoken and unresolved, is now ready to come into the light. They have been hiding something from you, but not out of malice and not to wound you. They hid it because fear grew louder than truth, because confusion clouded their vision, because timing twisted what should have been simple. You felt it long before you could explain it. The restless nights, the sudden waves of emotion that arrived without warning, the quiet knowing that crossed your heart when there was no message, no voice, no sign. You sensed them thinking of you, even in silence. Hear this clearly now. You were not imagining it. You were never unstable or mistaken. Your soul recognized what your mind could not yet confirm. That confirmation is being delivered now, before the moment shifts again. And here is what may surprise you. The revelation is not that your soulmate loves you. You already knew that, even when you tried to deny it. The revelation is why they stayed away. What they were shown, what they were told, what they were led to believe. There was interference, a presence in their circle, possibly someone you once trusted, who moved quietly, influencing distance and doubt. That hidden influence has now been exposed in the spiritual realm. Understand this with gravity. What is opening right now is a rare intervention. If you turn away, this alignment may not return in the same form. You are being granted access to a shift in reality itself. A door is opening in front of you right now. Not metaphorically, not someday. This moment carries weight. Those who step forward will be led into the next movement of their destiny. Those who turn away may continue wandering in half-light, asking why everything feels delayed, why the connection never settles, why the one they care about never reaches out. Do not let your spirit remain there. You were not created to live in constant suspension. Do not choose confusion when clarity is being placed within reach. This message was not released with noise or spectacle, but with a quiet intensity that demands attention. This is not fear speaking. This is timing. The one you love has reached a threshold. They, too, have encountered a sign. Like Gideon standing before the altar, unsure but stirred, they can no longer ignore what has been pressing on them. They feel it now, a tightening in the chest they cannot explain, a restlessness that words fail to carry. They are searching, sensing that something essential is missing, even if they cannot yet name it. And that something is you. But hear this carefully. If you do not open the door on your side, they will begin to doubt the signal. They will tell themselves it was imagined. They will bury it, the way hearts often do when certainty is delayed. And the miracle suspended between you, delicate as a golden thread, could break beneath the weight of silence. You were drawn here so you could see it, so you could reach out and catch what is being offered. Like Esther standing before the king, this moment asks for courage, not delay. What opens now will not wait indefinitely. Stay present. This is the crossing point. This moment is a signal, a quiet but decisive indication that you are willing to face truth without turning away. There is something waiting to be shown to you, but it cannot unfold if your heart stays guarded. Even now, a sacred movement is taking place beyond what the eyes can see. It involves your soulmate, the unresolved weight carried from the past, and a divine recalibration of paths that once seemed fixed. What you believed was gone for good is stirring again. The one you mourned in silence, the one you waited for when time felt endless, the one you tried to release but could never truly forget. They are nearer to you now than ever before. This nearness is not measured by distance, it is spiritual. Something within them has begun to awaken. Memory is returning, recognition is rising. They are starting to remember who you are to them, not as a figure from the past, but as part of their becoming. They are being readied for re-entry into your life. But understand this, if you do not receive what is unfolding here, if you resist it inwardly, the restoration can pause once again. And if that pause returns, the old ache may surface with a sharpness that feels unbearable, a sorrow even the angels struggle to quiet. You have asked, again and again, why they left, why it unfolded the way it did. The response to those questions is now being released. It is not arriving through symbols you must decipher, not through fragments that leave you guessing. It comes as unfiltered truth. This message carries the answer. What once felt senseless was never chaos. It was preparation. The pieces were still being positioned, and now, as alignment settles between your heart, their circumstances, and divine timing, revelation is permitted to flow. What was delayed is being rewritten. What was fractured is being called back into order. Do not assume this moment will wait for you. Spirit moves through openings, not guarantees. Windows open and they close. This is yours. If it passes, you may be carried into another cycle, another season, perhaps another year before alignment returns. This is not pressure, it is truth. Open your heart now while the door is still breathing. Your soulmate has been carrying pain as well. You were never alone in the grief of this bond. They have fought battles you were never meant to witness. Some were ancient, woven through bloodlines and inherited patterns, burdens passed down quietly through generations. Others were painfully human, words misunderstood, trust fractured, fear allowed to speak louder than love. And yes, there were voices around them that sounded wise but were not clean. Advice given under the disguise of concern, but rooted in control and limitation. These influences did not want them whole. They wanted them contained. That weight has risen to the surface now. Nothing remained hidden. Heaven has seen every angle. God has heard every whisper spoken in secret places, and now exposure has been permitted. Hear this carefully. If you turn away from this moment, your person may believe the door was never real. They may decide to stop reaching, to stop hoping, and if that happens, both of you may carry the ache of almost far longer than you were meant to. You were not created for almost. You were formed for covenant, for alignment, for a union that reflects purpose. That is what stands before you now. In the unseen, something rare surrounds your name. It appears like a sealed envelope, glowing with light. Inside are the answers you cried out for in the darkest hours. Questions sent into the silence when no one else could hear. Why did they really leave? Was the love ever true? Were you imagining it? Will the path ever circle back? Heaven received every one of those questions. Not a single one was lost. Now the seal is being lifted, not because time demanded it, but because you are here. This unveiling is not happening around you, it is happening with you present. And what is revealed next will change how you understand everything that came before. Nothing is happening without you. Nothing is moving behind your back. Your trust matters in the unseen, and your consent is part of how miracles take shape. Because you have opened your heart this far, what once lived in shadow is stepping into the light. Be certain of this. The truth approaching you is not here to harm you, it has come to restore you. What is being revealed will not break you. It will loosen what has held you for too long and finally set you free. If you are ready for unfiltered truth, let this moment stand as your permission to receive it. You are not alone in this, even if it has felt that way. Even if no one around you understands this specific ache of the soul. Even if you were told to move on, to forget, to be practical, heaven has always known what this connection truly is. And even if the world tried to call it temporary, heaven has been guarding the reality of your bond. That is why forgetting never worked. That is why no one else ever fit the shape of your heart. That is why, after time, distance, and silence, a quiet knowing still speaks their name within you. That belief was never weakness. It was truth. And it was prophecy. You are remembering a bond written in heaven long before time gave it form. You did not imagine this connection. You were shaped for it. Stay close now, because what follows has been entrusted to very few. Your soulmate once asked God to take this connection from them. Yes, they did. Not because love was absent, but because it was overwhelming. They felt unworthy of its light. They asked heaven to help them forget you, not out of cruelty, but out of fear that the depth of what they felt would undo them. And heaven's answer to that request was silence. Not refusal, not punishment, silence. Because what God has written, even God does not erase. The bond remained, the feelings deepened. The more they ran, the more disoriented they became, until they arrived at this exact turning point. You are being allowed to see this now, not to measure their weakness, but to understand the magnitude of what they were carrying. The world was never meant to hold counsel over a connection like this. That is why seeking its approval always left you empty. This was never a question for the crowd. It was a matter for heaven. And heaven is answering you now. The way your heart responds, the warmth, the sudden recognition, is not emotion alone. It is alignment. It is remembrance. It is the moment you once cried out for, even if you forgot you ever asked. What is asked of you now is simple, but powerful. Be willing to receive. You are not required to repair what broke or pursue what ran. Open your spirit. Heaven is ready to carry the weight you never could. Your soulmate carries pain as you do. This separation cut both sides. They have been fighting battles hidden from view, some rooted deep in the spirit, patterns passed through bloodlines, old contracts, long-held emotional blockages. Others were painfully human. Words misunderstood, trust shaken. fear allowed to decide. There was also counsel that misled them, guidance that sounded caring but planted doubt instead of truth. Heaven saw it. God heard every word spoken in secret, and now what was tangled is being exposed, so clarity can return. Hear this warning with steadiness. If you turn away now, they may believe the door was never real. Hope could finally collapse, and both of you could carry the weight of almost far longer than intended. You were not born for almost. You were formed for union with purpose. What is opening before you does more than reconnect one bond. It reframes your entire story. Every heartbreak that questioned your worth, every season that made you doubt your purpose, is coming into focus. Heaven never wasted your pain. It was shaping you. This truth is not only about love, it is about destiny. Your soulmate stands at the threshold of a chapter that has been paused until now. This moment was written into your life long before breath entered your lungs. Your name and theirs were seen together in a record few ever glimpse. When that record was opened, the angels wept. They saw your waiting. They saw your nights of quiet tears and your forced smiles. You were never forgotten. You were never invisible. The bond was never severed. They did not truly leave. They were tethered to you all along. Their soul has returned to you again and again, drawn to your light, even when their human sight could not recognize it. But something decisive has shifted. A force strong enough to break the silence is moving now. Earlier today, in an ordinary pause, an angel reached them. They may have been driving, sitting alone, staring at nothing. In that stillness, your face appeared, not as a memory, but as recognition, a sudden knowing. For the first time in a long while, the walls around their heart began to tremble. They may have told no one. They may have dismissed it as imagination. Heaven did not dismiss it. Heaven marked it. And when that moment reached them, I was sent to reach you. This is no longer a path you walk alone. The fire has been lit on their side. The chords of connection are stirring awake. If you step back now, you may never see what was ready to bloom. You may ask, why now? Why so suddenly? In the divine realm, timing is never random. This hour was written for your life. The delay was not rejection, it was preparation. Had you met fully before, unhealed wounds might have destroyed what was meant to last. But now, healing has taken root. Truth is rising. The storm that kept you apart is settling. If you move forward with this moment, you will watch what once felt impossible begin to rearrange itself in your favor. Something is unfolding in your soulmate's life that you may not yet see. They are watching you, drawn in ways they cannot explain. Through signs, memories, brief glimpses in the world around them, they are searching for confirmation. They need to know if what they feel is real, and if your heart still recognizes theirs. Hear this clearly. If you remain silent now, that silence may be mistaken for indifference. They could turn away, not from pride, but from self-protection. They are afraid of being wounded again. This fear can end here if you allow your heart to stay open to the truth being revealed. There is more you must know, and it is not easy to hear. A false voice has been speaking into their life. Someone once trusted planted doubt, confusion, even fear about you. That person saw your light and felt threatened by it. So lies were spoken, enough to distort perception for a season. And yes, that season caused the distance, but it has ended. Heaven has exposed that voice. You were never the problem. You do not need to carry blame any longer. Let your soul rest here. You were always enough. You were never late. You were never forgotten. You are not difficult to love. You are chosen. And those who are chosen are tested deeply because their love heals far beyond themselves, reaching into generations yet to come. That is why this connection has felt overwhelming, sacred, and difficult to name. It was never only about the two of you. It was tied to an assignment meant to break cycles older than you. Now you are being asked to believe again, even while fear lingers, because belief is the key that sets everything in motion. Your soulmate is still holding something back. Their heart burns with truth, yet their mind wrestles with logic. They are caught between a spiritual hunger they cannot deny and a deep fear of rejection, of not being enough. This inner conflict has kept them frozen, unable to move forward or away. This moment is designed to break that stillness. What has been locked is cracking open. Fear is being confronted. Lies are losing their grip. But the healing completes only when you allow yourself to stand in it fully. You have waited long enough. Heaven has marked this hour, not later, not someday, but now. Missing it carries weight, not as punishment, but because alignment moves with precision, and you are standing inside it. Look around you. The dreams, the patterns, the sudden waves of emotion are not random. They are signals. You have felt the shift for days. The air around you has changed. What you sensed was not confusion. It was collision. Truth has arrived, and you are awake to it. This declaration breaks your agreement with fear and aligns you with the victory prepared for you. What was sealed is opening now, but only briefly. Delay can close it again. Stay present. Breathe. Heaven is not testing your heart. It is rescuing it. You may not see the full cost your soulmate paid to protect this bond. You thought they walked away. In truth, resistance rose the moment they drew too close, because your shared light unsettled the shadows. Now the path back is clearing. This time they need your courage, not silence. They are watching for a sign. If none comes, they may believe you chose another path. That assumption would wound them deeply. Your soul is not merely informed today, it is being activated. These words carry keys. Chambers within you are opening. That is why your chest feels heavy and light at once. Memories surface because what you buried to survive is waking. Survival ends here. You are being called to live fully. Love is central to that call. Your soulmate stands at a breaking point. Change is near. You are part of the ripple. They may reach out, appear in a dream, or cross your path without warning. When it happens, do not run. Past pain-shaped wisdom, not numbness. Let the wiser you rise. The door before them opens by courage or closes by fear. Do not wait for another sign. This is it. Heaven speaks softly through what we almost ignore. Your soulmate has remembered. Their heart trembles at your name. They long for a second chance they cannot yet ask for. Do not let doubt speak now. That same voice once kept you trapped and misled them too. This is not confusion. It is a war for your union, and you are winning by staying open. Chains are breaking. Lies are dissolving. A door is opening. They will feel it. Guided back by unseen hands, they will finally say what fear once silenced. They always knew. Love was real. Recognition came before perfection. Your souls knew each other long ago. So decide. Walk away because you cannot see every step, or trust the plan unfolding now. Heaven's focus is on you. What follows reshapes destiny. If your spirit says yes, even quietly, motion begins. They will feel it like a wave. An urge to return will rise. This is the moment. Do not delay the miracle. Do not miss this. Stay open. Stay here. What you have lived through was never random, never wasted, never a sign of weakness. The pain, the collapse, the seasons that nearly broke you were not punishments. They were evidence. Proof that a greater strength was being forged within you, that something divine was pressing against your limits until you could carry it. The unseen has not been watching your story from a distance. It has been moving pieces, shifting timing, rearranging hearts and paths around you to make room for what was prepared long before you knew how to ask for it. And now everything rests on how you respond. If you close your spirit now, if doubt is allowed to speak louder than this moment, the movement pauses, not in anger, not in judgment, simply because no force in heaven will override a heart that refuses to receive. Your soulmate stands more open than they have ever been, stripped of illusions, softened by truth, waiting for a signal they cannot manufacture themselves, a whisper, a willingness, a sign that the door they feel opening is real. This moment is the bridge. You are holding the key. Do not discard it. Let yourself feel what logic cannot explain. The tightness in your chest, the sudden memory that surfaced without warning. The sense that something ancient and familiar is stirring. None of it is accidental. You are standing inside a visitation, a crossing point where timelines bend. The silence between you was never the absence of love. It was protection. There are times when the divine hides what is precious, not to deny it, but to shield it, while healing does its quiet work. That is what happened here. Had you come together too soon, old wounds would have repeated themselves and destroyed what was meant to last. Now, the healing is nearly complete. What returns will not be the version that hurt you, but the one refined by fire, awakened because you are finally strong enough to meet them without losing yourself. Understand this. Your suffering was not proof that you were unloved. It was evidence that you were being prepared. You are not being led into comfort. You are being summoned into purpose. This connection has never been about romance alone. It carries keys to a mission larger than either of you. You unlock parts of each other's destiny that cannot be opened alone. That is why the bond persisted. That is why distance never erased it. That is why their presence still fills the room in the quiet hours when the world sleeps. This is bigger than feeling. This is about alignment. When you allow your heart to open fully, movement accelerates, locked doors release, right people appear. Resources flow because heaven always backs what it initiates. What you are stepping into is not a chapter. It is a calling, a life assignment that begins the moment you stop resisting what has been calling you by name all along. You have been guided here, marked, not to be soothed, but to be awakened, activated, moved. If these words are reaching your spirit, stay connected, subscribe, like, and share this message, so what is unfolding here can continue to reach those who are meant to receive it. Forces tried to distract you, to numb you, to pull you away before these words could land. They failed. You are still here, which means the door is still open. The shift is still possible. The beginning is still alive. Heaven is not asking you to understand every step, only to be willing. Your soulmate is waiting for the next instruction. The future is leaning toward you, breath held, watching to see whether you will meet it or retreat from it. Because the moment you decide to trust what is unfolding, everything changes, and what opens next is something you were always meant to walk into. God of truth and timing, I come before you with an open heart. Remove every veil of fear, confusion, and delay that has clouded my path. Align my spirit with what you have prepared, and give me courage to receive what heaven is releasing now. Heal what was wounded, restore what was divided, and guide every step forward with clarity and peace. I trust your timing. I receive your truth. I say yes to what you are unfolding now. Amen. If this moment was placed in your life on purpose, what happens if you are the one who chooses to turn away from it?